So welcome to part 3 of the Mazda build. So today we're going to see if we can crack on dismantling and see where we can get to. Actually, first things first is, I believe that is our crash sensor, which will trigger the airbags. So first things first, let's disconnect the battery. Let that discharge for a little while, at least then we won't have any airbags being deployed. So the aim today will be removing this strut bar, probably removing this, so there's a tiny bit of damage, which is not urgent, but we'll get that replaced at some point. And start at this point, which is our shroud for the air conditioning condenser and the radiator, which are both intact still. So at the moment I'll still be using them. And so let's go back to the workshop manual and see exactly how this is done. So as I said before, the workshop manual is such an excellent reference to start if you don't know how to do a task. This Mazda manual appears to be excellent as well. So you can see the different instructions, remove set parts, etc. How to support certain areas when you do remove certain parts. Continue how to remove certain areas, and just clear diagrams. So if we move back up to the start, some of these items have already been removed. I've probably jumped ahead with some of it. So set plate we don't actually have on the car, that wasn't on there, so that's an item that I'm going to have to order up. Front bumpers obviously removed, combination light, it's our xenon lights, gone. Shroud, upper shroud, which is our top crash member, I've actually got a replacement, brand new one of these. So let's start there. What it does say to remove that is set plate, front bumper, combination light, which are all gone, and just the horns. So let's start there, remove the horns, and then remove the bolts. You know, how easy can some instructions be, eh? Let's crack on. Probably 4 or 5 minutes that was actually out. It doesn't look horrendously bad, but it is bent up there and at those corners. So brand new one being fitted. Good tip is as well, when you remove anything, bag it up in its individual bag, right on the bag, you know exactly where it's come from. So back into the car, that shroud is now removed, that upper one, as you just saw. So what's next? Air intake. This front air intake we don't actually have on the car. I think with a lot of cars that are written off, been in accidents, when they're assessed obviously they get checked out, but this wasn't actually put back on the car. I believe where it would have been smashed to bits anyway. So for us that's a matter of just ordering one up and all the fasteners, and then refit when needed. So we'll bypass that. Absorption foam, that's for the front crash bar. We actually don't have that either. So it's the lower stiffening panel. So to do that, disconnect the negative, done. Set plate's not there, front bumper. Remove bolts A. So as you can see, there's 5 bolts. We've got some hooks to push in, and then it should pull forward. Should be in the keyword. I've run into a little problem with, you can see, these bolts. They're actually spinning as well, so even if I try and undo them, they're spinning. So I'm going to get some penetrating oil on them, and some probably grips from this side, and see if I can hold on to them while I loosen them from underneath. And then I can probably get the lower half of this shroud off, and then enabling me to get a bit further into this. So after about 20 minutes trying to get 2 bolts out, I'm not giving up, but what I will be doing, it is bolted to the radiator shroud that actually needs to come off. So my aim probably will be now is to remove the shroud and the lower bumper stiff in the panel together, just so they can I can remove them safely without damaging that lower panel. That panel actually looks like it's in decent condition, so if I don't have to replace that, that'd be great. Otherwise I'm going to have to get the scintillating tool and actually cut that panel off. I don't want to do that if I can help it, so because that means me buying another for the sake of trying to get 2 bolts out. So I'm going to continue trying to remove the full shroud as one with that lower panel. So I'm just taking a quick video for reference of where all the clips and so forth go, just so I can come back to it and reference it off. There's the top of the damaged headlight, which I'll need to repair in some way. So let's go. Next step is to remove the hood latch. This is actually attached to the shroud what I'm trying to get at, so that seems to be quite a big integral part to the car. So remove 1 bolt from there. There's 1 here which removes this shroud here. Then we have a bolt here, and that should have the front lock removed, the hood lock. Okay, let's crack on. So here we go. That's the front shroud off, and realistically with the bumper and everything else off, that has taken 4 hours for a beginner, so I'm quite happy with that. Time for a breathe. As you can see, it's attached to the bumper stiffening panel still, so I do need to repair that. But all in all, moving ahead. So let's have a delve at the goodies. There's my new reinforcement bar. Brand new. Bit of trim from the inside of the car. My brand new Mazda grill. This is actually from Clarksonas in Lithuania. Found them on eBay, and to be honest, they've been absolutely golden. Any items that I've ordered have been very reasonable and delivered within a few days. to the UK, so shout out to them. They are hands down been brilliant. Top of the bumper, lower bumper grille, bumper reinforcement bar foam, and go in the back of the car. The upper bar, and finally our brand new shroud. Let's compare it to the other one. So you see there's damage pretty much everywhere all over this one on our brand spanker. So let's see if we can get this on. So you'll see that, to be honest, this is starting to come back together. Radiator and AC is now mounted in the shroud. I've mounted the brackets on, they're a little bit bent, so I think I can get a new one of these. May even get a new lock as well. But all in all, this is really starting to come together. So, and I've lost no water, so I haven't affected the radiator at all. I did break a few clips along the way, and I'll probably wish to replace a few of the others, but we can cross that bridge as we go. The one problem I have got is this bolt is threaded, and it's actually pulled the captive nut. So I will need to remove that, extract that, and put something in its place. It's not too much of a problem in all respects, to be honest. All it's doing is holding on the air intake mount, so not too much of a huge concern. I should have really threaded the bolts. Should have really threaded the bolts down before, but all in all we're getting there. So I think really I can actually mount the upper strut for the moment, bring this up while I make good the lower bumper stiffening bar. So let's get the next section out, which is our upper frame bar. So not the greatest idea, as this is only lightweight aluminium and it won't take the weight of the radiator, so newbie mistake, but let's put it back in. So as you can see, now the bumper shroud is now in and fitted. I've put the top bar back in just to take some of its weight. It's quite heavy, but it needs that lower stiffening brace put in. Fortunately it's still attached to the old shroud, as the bolts were absolutely seized. So it's going to be a matter of getting the bolts out of that and reinstalling that to take the weight from underneath of the AC condenser and the radiator. But literally I've spent 2 hours today and the car's coming on further every single day. So I think in total 5 hours so far, and the car is really starting to come back together. Really now we're on rebuild. So I'll probably order a new one of these brackets. I may order a new bonnet latch as well. And I need to get some new fasteners and so forth. So it's probably going to be a good week until that's dealt with. I think it's, if I use my pal in Europe, it'll probably be a week's delivery. So if you like the video, say hello, subscribe.